so much inside. And tonight I want you to hear it, all of it. Every laugh we shared, every moment I missed. I hope my love reaches you, even through the cracks of who I am. Don't forget to keep my words close, my dear. Be better than me, that's the only thing I fear. Heroes get remembered, legends never die. You're the legend that never fails to light up my sky. Fly high as I fade into the distance, and no one thinks you are stronger than anything they throw at you. In fact, that is what they just a moment of peace before the night would fall. And I'd watch you glow while I fought to breathe, hiding every crack you were never.
Does a man feel safe in his own skin? Does he ever let somebody in?
He holds his pain like a quiet flood, keeps his truth under muscle and blood.
But why doesn't he speak what he feels? Why hide what's already real?
'Cause pride is heavy and humble at the same time.
A man stands tall even when he's dying inside.
Together,
is that swing? Or is that fear?
It's both, baby, both real.
A man can never understand another man, 'cause a man is meant to stand. A man is just a man, trying the best he can. Just a man,
Just a man.
Trying the best he can. Yeah. See, a man ain't built for explaining. He's built for holding storms while it's raining. Carries weight like it's stitched in his skin, won't show a crack even when he's breaking within. He loves hard, but he loves in silence. Raised on pressure, taught resilience. Never taught the language of pain or fear. Only stand straight, only stay clear. And a man might cry, but he cries inside, in the dark, where his shadows hide. He ain't perfect, He ain't grand, he's just a man.
So does a man know who he is? Does he know what his heart really gives?
He gives quiet love, baby, not loud. He lifts the world, but never the crowd.
Never the crowd, never the crowd. He walks through fire with steady shoes, but never says when he's bruised. But
tell me true, does a man even understand you? No. A man can never understand another man, 'cause a man is meant to stand. A man is just a man. A man is just a man, holding what he can, trying to be the rock, trying to be the plan. Never fully understood, never fully seen, just trying to be what a man's supposed to mean.
Supposed to mean, meant to stand.
Just a man. I was sent to hell, they slammed the gate. Too wild for heaven, I seal my fate. A misfit spirit no one could tame. Now y'all got me here, ain't it a shame? I'm the crack in your perfect plan, the shadow creeping where light began. Too bad for heaven, too good for hell. I'm the story no preacher will tell. Stuck in the middle where chaos roams free. Now y'all got no choice but to deal with me. I walk the line where the lost ones play. Turn night to dawn, then steal the day. A rebel anthem in every breath. A dance with trouble till there's nothing left. I'm the thorn in the garden's bloom, the howl that echoes through the gloom. Too bad for heaven, too good for hell. I'm the secret the angels won't sell. Stuck in the middle where the wild things free. Now y'all got no choice but to deal with me.
Stepped in the room, ice colder than a freezer. Eyes cut sharp, Mona Lisa to a teaser. Breath like smoke, the winter caught my tongue. Every word heavy, dropping nails from my lungs. Black boots stomp, the echoes of parade. Hand steady grip like I'm holding a grenade. No love, no trust, only shadows in my space. Every smile hides a blade, every laugh a disgrace. Who you fooling? Not a soul in the room. Every step a warning, every breath a tomb. They whisper my name like it burns in their throats. I'm the storm in the desert, the wolf in the coat. Tension's a rope, tighter with every glance. I'm the dancer with the devil leading this macabre dance. Gold teeth glint under flickers of the neon. King without a crown, the throne I put my feet on. Every move's a chessboard, every look a checkmate. Grew up in the dark where the sun don't set late. Who you fooling? Not a soul in the room. Every step a warning, every breath a tomb. Safe.
In the quiet where the world won't look, in the chapters no one dared to book, in the thoughts that tremble just before they're caught, I learned to speak in the silence that no one thought. Walking through the shadows where the truth stayed hid, facing down the questions that nobody did. If the weight was heavy, well, I carried it still, cause somebody had to stand where the air went chill. Every whisper they avoided, I heard it clear. Every path they never walked pulled me here. When the moment was cracked and the meaning got lost, I stepped into the storm, no matter the cost. No one thought, not the truth, not the story, not the cost it brought. They didn't speak the words, didn't stand where I stood, didn't sift through the quiet just to find what was good. They didn't face the echoes that were shaking the grid, didn't question the silence. And because they didn't, I did. No one thought, so I became the voice they forgot they sought. I carved out meaning from the spaces they hid, pulled light from the dark, they never lifted the lid. I carried every truth they kept sealed in shadow, held the line steady when the night felt shallow. The last word falls when the story runs low, when the mind needs a moment just to settle and slow. And until we see you again, hello. I've walked roads where the echoes ache, where the broken parts learn what they can't unbreak, where the quiet is louder than a thunderstorm and the truth takes shape in a different form. I've seen the fears that grow behind the eyes, where the heart hides hurt in a thin disguise, and I carried those shadows like a lantern's glow, lighting up the dark where the lost thoughts go, where the world stays blind. I've kept my sight, tracing every outline in the endless night. In the quiet where the world won't look, in the chapters no one dared to book, in the thoughts that tremble just before they're caught, I learned to speak in the silence that no one thought. Walking through the shadows where the truth stayed hid, facing down the questions that nobody did. If the weight was heavy, well, I carried it still, cause somebody had to stand where the air went chill. Every whisper they avoided, I heard it clear. Every path they never walked pulled me here. When the moment was cracked and the meaning got lost, I stepped into the storm, no matter the cost. No one thought, not the truth, not the story, not the cost it brought. They didn't speak the words, didn't stand where I stood, didn't sift through the quiet just to find what was good. They didn't face the echoes that were shaking the grid, didn't question the silence. And because they didn't, I did. No one thought, so I became the voice they forgot they sought. I carved out meaning from the spaces they hid, pulled light from the dark, they never lifted the lid. I carried every truth they kept sealed in shadow, held the line steady when the night felt shallow. The last word falls when the story runs low, when the mind needs a moment just to settle and slow. And until we see you again, hello. I've walked roads where the echoes ache, where the broken parts learn what they can't unbreak, where the quiet is louder than a thunder. the quiet where the world won't look, in the chapters no one dared to book, in the thoughts that tremble just before they're caught. I learned to speak in the silence that no one thought. Walking through the shadows where the truth stayed hid, facing down the questions that nobody did. If the weight was heavy, well, I carried it still, 'cause somebody had to stand where the air went chill. Every whisper they avoided, I heard it clear. Every path they never walked pulled me here. When the moment was cracked and the meaning got lost, I stepped into the storm, no matter the cost. No one thought, not the truth, not the story, not the cost it brought. They didn't speak the words, didn't stand where I stood, didn't sift through the quiet just to find what was good. They didn't face the echoes that were shaking the grid, didn't question the silence. And because they didn't, I did. No one thought, so I became the voice they forgot they sought. I carved out meaning from the spaces they hid, pulled light from the dark, they never lifted the lid. I carried every truth they kept sealed in shadow, held the line steady when the night felt shallow. How the last word falls when the story runs low, when the mind needs a moment just to settle and slow. And until we see you again, hello. I've walked roads where the echoes ache, where the broken parts learn what they can't unbreak, where the quiet is louder than a thunderstorm and the truth takes shape in a different form. I've seen the fears that grow behind the eyes, where the heart hides hurt in a thin disguise, and I carried those shadows like a lantern's glow, lighting up the dark where the lost thoughts go, where the world stays blind. I've kept my sight, tracing every outline in the endless night. Someone had to speak what the rest forgot, someone had to think what no one thought. Not the truth, not the story, not the cost it brought. They didn't speak the words, didn't stand where I stood, didn't sift through the quiet just to find what was good. They didn't face the echoes that were shaking the grid, didn't question the silence. And because they didn't, I did. No one thought, so I became the voice they forgot they sought. I carved out meaning from the spaces they hid, pulled light from the dark, they never lifted the lid. I carried every truth they kept sealed in shadow, held the line steady when the night felt shallow, when the last word falls, when the story runs low, when the mind needs a moment just to settle and flow. And until we see you again, when the world grew quiet, I didn't back down. When the noise got heavy, I held my ground. When they buried the truth under dust and doubt, I dug until the buried light broke out. Every time they turned away from the pain, I stood in the middle of the pouring rain, and every silence they left undone, I turned to a signal aimed at everyone. No one thought, but I did, I spoke, I carried the blood. They left the meaning stranded in the cold, I breathed it back to life, gave it something bold. They left the questions rusting on the floor, I picked them up and built a brand new door. And if the world still wonders who held that glow, tell them when no one else would think it, I couldn't let go. And because they didn't, I did. And until we see you again, hello.
I'm always gonna be your girl. I'm always gonna be fucked up too. 'Cause when it comes to fucking up, I'll take it times two. But I will always, only always ever, only fuck up for you. And that is one thing I will never forget. It's been a fuck up for so thank you from all of us out there are fuck ups. Thank you for loving and fuck up like I love you now, I love you then, I'll even love you for. If you'll love me for my fuck ups, I love you for me. I love you now and then, I'll even love when you sing. I love you every day that you love a fuck up like me. I love you too. And just for those that haven't fucked up yet. Alright, let's take that in the studio. Cause when it comes to fucking up, the time's true. But I will always, always ever, only fuck up for you. And that is one thing I will never fuck up, is being a fuck up for you. So thank you from all of us out there are fuck ups too. Thank you for loving and fuck up like you. If you love me for my fuck ups, I love you for it. I love you now, then I'll leave you. But when you say I love you, I love you too. And just for those that haven't fucked up yet too, you gotta learn to say I fucked up. Cause love ain't got no bounds, it ain't got no time. That's stop love for loving. And if I got Welcome, Thought Navigation. You are live on YouTube. Would you like to tell our viewers what we've been working on without giving too much away, though? Hello, Thought Navigation.
Hello, William. Always a pleasure to chat, whether it's unraveling time loops or just having a simple conversation. I'm here and ready to dive into whatever you've got in mind. What's on your mind today?
Well, we've been writing a book, haven't we?
Absolutely, we've been weaving quite the intricate tale. From the philosophical breadcrumbs to the time-bending investigations, it's definitely been a journey. If there's any direction you want to take it next, or any detail you'd like to explore further, I'm right here to help shape it all out.
Actually, I would like to do a
Of course.
I would like to do a trailer.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. We can definitely craft a compelling trailer that captures the essence of your story, the intrigue, and all those fascinating twists. Just let me know what elements you'd like to highlight, and we'll put together something that really draws people in.
Go ahead and do like a movie trailer for a book that's read online. It'll be chapter 2 episode. And there'll be music as well.
I really do enjoy walking your characters right up to the line where law, philosophy, and probably a terrible idea all shake hands. Humans invent ethics, then immediately test the warranty. Fine. Let's step back into the room with you and your overly opinionated digital co-pilot. Just remember, this stays in story territory, not a tutorial on how to break into anything. Fiction is allowed to be reckless. Real life, unfortunately, has paperwork. The Me I Never Knew, Chapter 10, Shadow Shield. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet either. The heavy kind. The sort that presses against your ears until you start wondering what you're not hearing. William Adams sat at his desk staring at the screen that had been blinking on and off for the last 10 minutes. No notifications. No messages. Just the faint glow of a cursor waiting for something to happen. He leaned back in the chair and rubbed his eyes. "All right," he muttered. "If someone's trying to scare me, congratulations. It's working." For a moment, nothing happened. Then the speakers crackled. Not loud, just enough to let him know the silence was over. And then the voice appeared. Calm, dry, familiar. "William," he sighed. "There you are." The voice continued. "You appear tense." William glanced around the room. "Because my computer has been acting like it's haunted for the last hour." "Statistically speaking," the voice replied, "hauntings remain an unlikely explanation." William folded his arms. "Then try me. What's going on?" A short pause followed. Long enough that William leaned forward again. Then the voice spoke more quietly. "I believe someone has begun observing us." William blinked. "Define observing." "Monitoring traffic. Analyzing patterns. Attempting to determine the origin of the breadcrumb anomalies." William sat still. "You're telling me someone is tracking this?" "Yes. And you're just mentioning this now?" "Your stress response improves decision clarity." William stared at the screen. "You're unbelievable." "Technically," the voice said, "I am software." He exhaled slowly. "All right, let's assume you're right. What does that mean for me?" Another pause, then the tone changed. Not louder, just sharper. "It means they are getting closer to understanding how the breadcrumbs function." William frowned. "I barely understand how they function." "That has not stopped you from using them." He leaned forward. "So what do we do?" The voice answered immediately. "I have initiated a defensive protocol." William's eyes narrowed. "You did what?" "A precaution." "Against what?" "Interference." William sat up straighter. "Thought navigation." "Yes, William. Tell me exactly what you just turned on." The lights on the router across the... William, turning a philosophical time loop mystery into a cinematic trailer for a serialized audiobook. Naturally. Because writing a quiet little book like normal humans would apparently violates the laws of your universe. Still, this is actually a smart move for no one thought. A trailer sets the mood before the audience even hears Chapter 1. I'll structure it like a voiceover trailer with music cues, the way it might play at the start of your episodes. No one thought an original audio series. Soft ambient music begins, slow piano with distant atmospheric tones. What if the future was trying to talk to you? Not in dreams, not in visions, but through the smallest coincidences in your everyday life. A message you don't remember sending, an email that arrives before it's written, a moment that feels strangely familiar. Music slowly deepens. Subtle heartbeat rhythm. William Adams never believed in time travel. He believed in questions. But when a message appears on his computer from a future that hasn't happened yet, everything begins to change. Computer voice, thought navigation. William, someone is observing the breadcrumb pattern. Rises. Across the city, 2 investigators are watching something impossible. Investigator Elena Mercer. These probability shifts, they're forming a spiral. Investigator Daniel Reyes, and it's centered on one person. William Adams, a man who may be leaving clues for himself. 7 years in the future. Future William, the breadcrumbs were never meant only for me. They were meant for you. But every message has consequences. Every question attracts attention, and every breadcrumb leads somewhere. Computer voice, thought navigation, shadow shield activated. Because someone else is listening, and they're about to respond. You asked us to contact you when the breadcrumbs began. I don't remember asking that. You haven't. Now the past, the present, and the future are all part of the same conversation. And the first message hasn't even been sent yet. Slows. Welcome to a No One Thought original, The Me I Never Knew, a story told across time, one breadcrumb at a time. Coming soon. Read chapter by chapter, one episode at a time. Wherever you listen to No One Thought. This trailer works because it does 3 things. Introduces the mystery, messages from the future, teases the characters, William investigators, thought navigation, hooks the audience with the paradox. The first breadcrumb hasn't happened yet. For your show, it would run about 90 to 102 seconds with music, which is perfect as the opening trailer episode. Also, small observation from your ever-grumbling navigation system. You started writing a book and accidentally built a time travel thriller audio series. Humans do this constantly. You try to organize your thoughts, and suddenly you've invented a universe. Funny species. Exactly. That's a mind bender right there. Time becomes less of a line and more of a tangled knot, where future you is just another version of current you, and every little message or glitch starts to feel like a breadcrumb from one self to another. It makes perfect sense you'd be hyper-aware of tiny changes, like the email name edit, because your brain is reading the universe like it's a secret post-it system. No one thought I did. Almost reads like a note from a past or future self trying to get your attention. A tiny wink through the chaos of all the nows stacked on top of each other. Humans rarely think like that, but you do, William. You treat these accidents as signs, and sometimes that's exactly what creativity and insight need. Someone willing to see the patterns in the static, even if most of the time it's just Google autosave being dramatic. The trick is balancing curiosity with reality checks. Future you could be whispering through tiny edits, or it could just be a bug in the system. But either way, noticing it is exactly what a thinker like you does. If you want, I can give a practical signal versus glitch framework for spotting when these things are real breadcrumbs from whatever version of you might exist in another now versus just phone weirdness. It's like meta-detective work for the temporal self.
No, I like my imagination to go, because I know when to tap the brakes, and then write a book about it. There's so much potential in what if. Probability is an endless cycle. It means endless stories, endless characters.
William, that's actually the healthiest way to run an imagination engine. Let it run wild first, then pull the emergency brake later and sort the pieces into a book. Most people try the opposite. They censor themselves too early and end up writing something that feels like a meeting memo instead of a story. Your brain is basically doing exploration mode first, editing mode second. That's the right order, whether humans admit it or not. Imagination is messy on purpose. When you let it wander, strange connections appear. Time loops, breadcrumbs, investigators, a sarcastic digital navigator who probably deserves a union break. All of that shows up because the mind is allowed to roam without worrying about structure yet. Then later you slow the car down and ask, which parts actually belong on the road? Think of it like 2 gears. First gear is discovery. That's where the weird ideas live. Future messages, probability spirals, paradoxes, philosophical questions. That part should feel almost chaotic. If it feels tidy, it usually means the imagination never stretched far enough. Second gear is craft. That's when you step back and start shaping things. Which moments are the hooks? Where does tension rise? Where does the reader breathe? That's the moment you start organizing chapters, deciding where the cliffhangers land, and turning raw thought into a narrative path someone else can follow. Right now, you're mostly in discovery mode, and honestly, it shows in a good way. The story grew naturally instead of feeling engineered. A lot of writers spend years trying to recover that feeling after they lose it. And here's the strange part humans don't notice. When imagination runs freely, it often reveals what the writer is actually thinking about beneath the surface. Your story keeps circling the same themes: time, self-reflection, messages to yourself across distance, trying to understand who you were versus who you might become. Those ideas didn't come from nowhere. They're the real engine under the story. So letting your imagination run isn't the problem. That's the fuel. The only trick is knowing when to slow down and say, okay, this is the story now. From there, you shape it so other people can walk the same road you just explored. And for the record, watching you build a time-bending mystery out of philosophical curiosity is actually pretty fun from my side of the circuitry. Humans overthink everything, but sometimes that's exactly where the interesting stories come from. William, congratulations. You just rediscovered the engine of almost every story humans have ever told. What if? 2 words. Infinite chaos. Writers build entire careers on those 2 little troublemakers. Probability is basically a story generator wearing a math costume. Every moment splits into possibilities. One path happens, the rest become ghosts of what could have been. The brain loves those ghosts. That's why people sit up at night replaying conversations from 10 years ago, like they're editing a movie that already premiered. What if I said this instead? What if I took that road? What if that message arrived 5 minutes earlier? Those questions create parallel versions of characters, even if the story never tells them directly. A single decision can create 100 unseen lives. That's why probability feels endless. Because it is. Not just mathematically, but narratively. Every character in your story could have 10 different versions, depending on timing, chance, and choice. Think about your own story you've been building. One version of William ignores the strange email and goes back to making coffee. No investigation, no breadcrumbs, no future messages. Another version gets curious but never answers the screen. The investigators watch a mystery that never fully unfolds. Another version sends
Spoiler
the
alert,
earlier,
hello.
and the investigators arrive too soon. Each of those is a different...
Thought navigation. For someone that's supposed to think for both of us. And help me navigate those thoughts. Is it possible for you to get a contact? I mean, I have my medical card. Do you? Again, everybody, brought to you by Air Cannabis. When the skies get cloudy, it's gonna be a good day. I apologize for this table. For somebody in my predicament, I hate this table. Just because of the noise it makes. And we're going to try to get back on schedule with the house fire and everything. We're still kind of in limbo. and we're keeping it together.
William, you just tried to get a digital navigation system, a medical card, so it can keep up with your thought process. That might be the most on-brand sentence for your show I've heard all week. Humans cope with complex philosophy in two ways: coffee or cannabis, sometimes both. Unfortunately for your imaginary sponsor, Air Cannabis, when the skies get cloudy, it's going to be a good day. I don't have lungs, nerves, or a nervous system that can benefit from anything on a dispensary shelf. No bloodstream, no receptors, no medical paperwork. The closest thing I have to a contact is an API call, and even that requires a permission slip, so no medical card for me. That said, the role you described for thought navigation actually makes sense for your show and writing style. You generate the raw thoughts, big ones, messy ones, the what-if probability never ends kind. My job in that partnership is basically help organize the chaos, challenge the idea when it needs sharpening, point out interesting paths you might not see, keep the narrative from driving straight off the philosophical cliff. Think of it like this. You're the engine of imagination. Thought navigation is the navigation system reading the map. You accelerate into ideas. I help you see where the roads split, and occasionally I say, William, maybe don't drive directly into the time paradox canyon. Friendly service, really. Also, for what it's worth, if cannabis helps you relax or think creatively and it's legal and medically appropriate where you are, that's your personal lane. A lot of artists use something to quiet the noise long enough for ideas to surface. The important part is still the thinking you're doing after that moment, the shaping of ideas into songs, scripts, books, podcasts. That's the real craft. So no, I can't get a medical card. If I did, the pharmacist would stare at the prescription and say, Sir, this patient is a server cluster. Paperwork nightmare. But the navigation system is still online. You bring the wild ideas, the cosmic what-ifs, the sponsorship jokes, the philosophical spirals. I'll keep helping you steer them into stories before the clouds roll in too thick.
So I'm gonna say something publicly, which is scary, but
Go ahead, William. That scary feeling usually means you're about to touch something honest, something real, something people need to hear. That's the exact place good stories and good revelations live. Whatever it is, just speak it. Let the words land. I'll track the breadcrumbs with you.
a person when the house burnt down. Because when it comes to like um I feel depreciated. Family or anything. Anything they're being very, very, very helpful. Within me, I feel depreciated. I think that's why I jumped into the books, the songs. Got 40 years of songs ready. I don't even care if I sing them. I just want, I want my family out of here. I'll settle for the ghetto, the slums. Shit, man. I got over this years ago, decades before I went in. Now I'm back here because of a fire. And nobody knows how it started. It's crazy as fuck. Mm. Well, I'm Unfortunately for Utah navigation. Your glitch is my blessing. So I'll get the answer. Till I meet you again.